The sun was beginning its descent beyond the endless horizon of the savanna, casting long shadows across the undulating grasslands. A distant rumble echoed through the earth. The storm was coming. But it wasn't the storm that held the tribe's attention today. A different kind of danger loomed, an animal unlike anything they had ever encountered before. The tribe moved in synchronized harmony, as if part of a single fluid organism, their movements almost mesmerizing in their precision. The wind howled, pulling at their clothes and hair, but the group remained unshaken. The jungle and savanna had shaped them, toughened them. They were Homo habilis, a species that had learned to navigate life through survival, cooperation, and cunning. As they moved stealthily through the grass, their tails swayed behind them like a counterbalance, an evolution that gave them an advantage no other creature had. These tails weren't just for decoration. They were perfectly adapted to help stabilize their movements, allowing them to navigate the uneven terrain with greater speed and efficiency. Their tails acted like rudders, a perfect counter to the fierce winds and the natural instability of their surroundings. But it wasn't the winds or the environment they feared. It was the great predator in the distance, the massive saber-tooth cat, its fangs gleaming as it stalked its prey. The group knew that today, survival would require more than just quick feet. The battle of wits, of balance, and of strength would soon unfold. The leader of the tribe, a tall, broad-shouldered figure with a sharp gaze, motioned with his hand. A signal passed through the group like a chain reaction. Each member of the tribe moved into position, their bodies low to the ground, their tails flicking to keep their balance as they crept forward. The trees and grass bent with the wind. As they closed in on the creature's path, their hunt set in motion. They had faced danger before. Saber-tooths were no strangers to their land. But today, they had a new advantage, an evolutionary gift that set them apart from all other creatures. Their tails, though short by modern standards, were their lifeline, acting as a stabilizing force in the chase. The tail would help them land their strikes, pivot swiftly when needed, and keep their footing when danger threatened to topple them. The saber-tooth stopped, its ears twitching as it sensed something amiss. It turned to face the tribe. There was no time to retreat now. With a roar, it lunged at the nearest member, its massive paws swiping through the air. But the tribe was ready. As the creature closed the distance, the leader and his warriors leaped into action, their tails swishing behind them to keep them balanced and agile. With synchronized precision, they surrounded the predator, positioning themselves just out of reach of its claws. In that split-second, time slowed down. The predator, though fierce, had underestimated the human's ability to move together as one. The group closed in their movements, fluid, their tails helping them maintain perfect balance as they brought down the mighty beast. The tribe stood over the defeated saber-tooth, their breathing heavy but steady. The battle had been won not by sheer strength, but by intelligence, unity, and the advantages given by their unique evolution. Their tails, once thought of as a mere curiosity, had proven to be a crucial asset in the fight for survival. The storm had arrived, but the tribe had endured. The storm's fury had begun to unleash. The skies darkened, and the wind howled through the savanna, carrying the scent of rain and the promise of a brutal downpour. The tribe, having won their battle against the saber-tooth, quickly gathered their prey, dragging the massive body towards a nearby cave for shelter. The young ones were already crouched in the entrance, their eyes wide, with the understanding of the danger that was still looming. The elders, their faces lined with years of hardship, moved in silence, their tails trailing behind them, their senses keen to every shift in the wind. The tribe had lived through countless storms, but this one felt different. The air was thick with the weight of the world, and every member knew that the savanna's trials had only just begun. As the rain began to pour, the group huddled together for warmth. The fire, which had been built in haste, crackled in the darkness, casting flickering shadows against the cave walls. The warmth of the flames offered little comfort against the chill of the storm outside. But it was enough to keep the young ones from fear enough to keep the old ones grounded in the rhythm of survival. The leader looked at his people, his eyes narrowing against the smoke. His thoughts were heavy, his tail swaying gently behind him as he stared at the flickering flames. What lay beyond the storm? What challenges would tomorrow bring? The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear: they were strong, adaptable, and their tails gave them an edge that would serve them well. The elders spoke in hushed tones, discussing their strategy for the days to come. Their tails, always at attention, flicked in synchrony as they moved in and out of the shadows, the fluid motions a testament to their decades of survival in these lands. Their methods, hunting, gathering, and protecting their own, were as instinctive as breathing, honed over countless generations. The storm outside raged on, but within the cave there was a moment of stillness, a moment of unity. The tribe's balance, both physical and social, was evident in the way they moved together. Their tails were not only a physical advantage, they were a reminder of the unity that kept them strong. As the night wore on, the storm subsided, but the tribe's vigilance remained unbroken. They knew that survival was never guaranteed. It was a constant battle against the elements, against predators, and sometimes against their own doubts. The leader stood stretching his limbs, and then in one fluid motion turned to face the exit. The tribe, now well-rested and fortified, stood ready to face the challenges of the coming day. The storm may have passed, but there would always be another. With a final glance at the sky, the leader motioned to his people. They had survived yet another day together. Their tails swayed in unison, a symbol of their strength, balance, and adaptability. As the tribe stepped into the fading light of dawn, the savannah stretched out before them, vast, untamed, and full of the unknown. The battle for survival was never over. But for now, with their tails guiding them, they knew they could face whatever lay ahead. As the first rays of dawn pierced the clouds, casting a golden glow over the grasslands, the tribe moved out of their shelter, their bodies fluid and prepared for whatever the day would bring. The storm had passed, but the aftermath remained: muddy trails, displaced animals, and the haunting scent of the wet earth. The leader led the way, his eyes scanning the horizon, always alert to danger. The tribe's movements were silent, coordinated, each person with their tails swaying in harmony, a reminder of their shared strength and adaptability. Their first task was to gather food, but today's hunt would be different. They were not alone in the savannah. A rival tribe known for their fierceness and strength had been spotted near the waterhole. The leader knew that confrontation was inevitable, but there would be no time for hesitation. The tribe had to be united, their movements synchronized, their balance unwavering. The young hunters, quick and nimble, flanked the sides of the group, their tails helping them maintain balance as they moved swiftly through the wet underbrush. The elders remained at the center, steady, and focused, their tails twitching with every shift in the wind. Their roles had never been clearer. Survival was a collective effort, and every member of the tribe had a part to play. As they neared the waterhole, the tension thickened. The rival tribe, having already spotted them, prepared for the inevitable conflict. But the leader, calm and resolute, motioned for his people to stay still. This was their moment. They had the advantage of unity, agility, and most importantly, balance. With a single command, the battle began. The humans moved as one, their tails guiding them through the chaos of the clash. The rival tribe, unprepared for such a coordinated assault, struggled to match their fluidity. The fight was swift, decisive. With the rival tribe defeated, the savannah seemed to breathe again, quieting down in the aftermath of the struggle. The tribe stood victorious, their tails still swaying as they gathered around the fallen not in celebration, but in recognition of the battle they had fought together. They knew that tomorrow another challenge would come, but with their balance and unity, they would face it head-on.